So this week, Bethany Mandel, who is a conservative writer, and my understanding, her and her husband are kind of like big and conservative in the conservative space. They both write a lot about being parents that homeschool, and they're very conservative. They're very worried about the woke ideology that is affecting children. Well, she was on The Hill Rising with Brianna Joy Gray and Robbie. I forget Robbie's last name, but the two hosts there. And I'm sure a lot of you saw this clip, but there's actually two clips because the other clip was not that I used in my video, has not been as widely viewed. But let's start first with the big clip that went viral. Make sure the audio is boosted on.
Damn, it's at 10 million views now.
Yeah,
I love this.
Yeah, it blew up.
Americans consider themselves very liberal, and probably fewer of them consider themselves to be woke. And so, when we talk about traditional,
what does that mean to you? Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean, woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke is something that's very hard to define, and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding that we need to totally reimagine and redo society in order to create hierarchies of oppression.
What does that even mean?
Sorry, it's hard to explain in a 15-second soundbite.
Yeah, look,
you can take your time.
You can take your time. That was fantastic.
Americans consider
So
themselves.
I'll get to the second clip in a bit here, but just that. So I didn't explore this in my video because I just didn't know what to say about it. These hierarchies of oppression, is that what that means to some people? Is that what woke means? Like what is hierarchies of oppression? I don't even know what that is.
Listen, she just didn't want to say that when she says woke, she means black people, or when she says woke, she means LGBT people. That's what it is. We know because their followers, when they take this to the cultural stuff, it's loud and clear what they mean when they say woke. Oh, look, Little Mermaid's gone woke now. Oh, how did it go woke? Oh, there's a black actress cast in it. Oh, this show is woke now. Oh, how did it go woke? Oh, there's a trans person in the show now. They know exactly what it means. They're just too chicken shit to say it because the mainstream society that she's claiming isn't these things actually looks down upon, for the most part, them saying that stuff because, we're in the year 2023. We're not in the 1940s or 50s anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So she does go on to give an example of what she means when about woke in the classroom. So this was less. This didn't get as much exposure, but I think this is worth watching.
So with the example of a 5-year-old, one example that one of my friends just posited on Twitter, her 5-year-old came home and said, I like girls. And so that means different things to different people. For an adult, and sort of what the adults were sort of telling that child and what they understood they were sort of framing for that child was that it's okay to be gay or straight, and more of a sexuality question. Whereas for children, it's more, I like girls and I like boys.
So Bethany, I saw that tweet that you mentioned. It was someone who said, I was recently at my friend's son's 8th birthday party. I was chatting with one of the moms, and she said that her 5-year-old daughter came home from school and said she likes girls, and that her teacher said that's okay. So the response seems to have been that's okay, without more editorializing about whether it's sexual or not. Although you quote tweeted it saying talking about sexuality with young children weird again, make that weird again.
Yeah.
And without more, it does seem like that's just that's fine and let it go, and we'll see if she grows up and is actually lesbian or she just likes hanging out with her friend Crystal. So what would you prefer a parent do? What do we think is the appropriate course of action there to tell a kid it's not okay to like girls?
No, so the rest of that tweet said, the mother was complaining that this is kind of constant messaging that's happening at the school.
No, that's bullshit.
So all the teacher did was say, that's okay. It's Bethany Mandel that quote tweeted that and then turned that into some devious thing that the teacher said, that's okay, as if that was encouraging and by the way, even if it was encouraging the kid to be who they are, it's like, girl, who gives a shit? But that's what she was claiming the teacher did. The teacher just said, that's okay. It shows you the lengths they will go to try and find a narrative when there is absolutely nothing wrong going on. It's just teachers just listening to kids and accepting them and allowing them to express themselves. That's the extent of it. And it's people like Bethany Mandel that turn this into some scary thing.
Yeah, also, she homeschools her kids. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You homeschool your kids. Stay out of it. What do you care? It's not affecting you. Christ almighty.
Well, Matt, I heard that apparently on a hot mic, there was a bit of a kerfuffle, so to speak. A problem where Brianna Joy Gray was talking about how many kids or something like that. I saw that. So that's what explains her really bad definition.
Oh my God. As somebody who is behind the scene, regular Riley, host the show. All right. Oh my God. Let me put on my cape for Brianna.
To first explain what happened. So Bethany Mandel came out afterwards and basically said that before they began recording, Brianna Joy Gray made some joke about people having kids because they're selfish. Like, that was the extent of it.
That white girl got her ass handed to her because she's absolutely fucking mediocre and unprepared. That is unbelievable that you can make something your flagship talking point and not think that you need to at the very least have a template fucking answer for how to define it. You think anybody could ask me an abolition question and catch me off fucking guard? Okay. Anyhow,
she wrote a book. She wrote a book.
She wrote a book. She wrote a book.
Absolutely.
She was promoting her book.
Wildly mediocre and incompetent, and it says something about what is the usual tenor of what happens on Rising, that she figures that's the kind of environment she expects to be softball, that even just defining it was something that threw her the fuck off. She was blown away. But then the boldness, the sheer audacity to sit there and tote that ass whooping online and come there and say, I will blatantly do my best to try to blame this black woman because I am so upset Brianna is a villain because she made me look. No, Brianna don't got shit to do with that. Listen, Brianna don't got shit to do with that. Brianna don't got shit to do with why you can't define what you allegedly wrote a whole chapter about, sweetie. So you come and say foolishness. There's no such thing as a hot mic or whatever at Rising. You come on and you're on. You're right there. We know we're mic'd up the whole fucking time. You come on. You're on the screen. We see you. There is no secret aside conversation, whatever. Like, get the fuck out of here. A hot mic? What the fuck you think this is, bro? We're mic'd up with a hot mic.
Context.
That pissed me right off. Like, I was so tight. Bring what? A hot mic.
Just for context, this is
and
a
also,
this
by
is
the
a
way,
tweet.
hold on. And this is an important point. That question, Brianna asked her that question 7 minutes into the interview. That you were so kerfuffled. But I called 7 minutes late.
So just for context, this is the tweet that Bethany Mandel put out saying, just before we went on air, Brianna Joy Gray was on a hot mic, which of course, not a hot mic. I heard her demeaning parenting in general, in colorful and nasty terms, stating parents only have kids or to perpetuate their own narcissism. Robbie responded, there are some good ones and some bad ones. Like, first of all, that's the worst you can come up with? Like,
that threw her off.
I'm a parent, and this does not offend me whatsoever. I said those things in the past. This is, of course, parents have had kids because they're narcissistic. Like that, obviously, yes, many parents do that. That's not like news. I don't even know what is the criticism here? What is the
nimble
point?
Gymnastics was incredible. To blame Brianna, that was wild. I was like, you're embarrassing, Miss Mamas.
Hot mic too, by the way. No need to sexualize the situation. It's just a microphone. Doesn't need to be
Ooh. I sit here awkwardly. No. Well, and what she said, like her example of woke is really interesting because for me, like when I was a kid, there was no woke nonsense. And when I was 5 years old, I said the same thing when I came home from school, but I didn't get it from school. So for example, like I've shared this story before. My mom was having like a regular conversation about me with me, and she said something to the effect of, well, when you grow up one day and you get a wife or a girlfriend, then you'll have kids or some shit like that. I don't remember the context, but I basically responded by saying, well, I don't want a girlfriend. I want a boyfriend. And she's like, why do you want a boyfriend? And I'm like, because I want a boyfriend. That's what I want. I don't want a girlfriend. And she's like, well, you can't, because girls have boyfriends and boys have girlfriends. And I'm like, no, I want a boyfriend. And like, she didn't accuse the teacher of like feeding this in my head. Like, I picked up on it because I saw other people talking about like mommies and daddies. And even like in kindergarten, like at that age, you see the other kids talking about, oh, he's cute, she's cute, and whatnot. So I thought, oh, well, this is what's natural to me. I want to have a boyfriend. It wasn't like a deep thing. Like, I wasn't like, Mom, I'm gay. Like, it wasn't anything like that. But just as a kid, that was me kind of acknowledging for the first time, now that I look back, that I was gay. It wasn't something that like I was indoctrinated into, because guess what? I was also homeschooled. I was also evangelical, and I grew up gay as shit. So you can't stop people from being who they're going to be. So I love that that's the example that she uses.
Indoctrinated by your teacher, of course, Mike. We know.
That does go to like their belief that this can be implanted into you, as opposed to just you like who you like. Like
Look, it's a way to deflect blame, because they see being gay as a bad thing. So they go, well, I could not have raised my kid to be bad, therefore I will blame the teacher instead. It's just a way to deflect blame and not take responsibility. Not that you need to take responsibility for being gay, which that's kind of, I don't know. It doesn't make sense in my head. I think I totally butchered that though. But
what you're saying makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, and also we should also mention the fact that like, if it works, that you can expose people to, let's just say, gay propaganda, gay movies, and gay stuff, and it turns them gay. There would be no gay people. Right. It's all straight shit everywhere, all the time. Like, are you kidding me? It's just like, do you want a burger? Do you want burgers and tits? Oh, look at how the mayonnaise is falling on the titties. Like, oh, God, maybe I'm confused. I don't know. Am I hungry or horny? What do you want? Just take money. Like, that's the way it is everywhere in life.
I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. I'm just, what?
Now you're hungry and horny. Basically. Right? It works. It's happening right now.
Culture has been very heterosexual for ever. So the idea that culture would turn people gay. To your point, there would be no gay people then. If that was the case.
There was no gay people that I knew of growing up. Like, I didn't know any gay people. I remember it was such a huge thing that Ellen came out. We watched the Ellen show, and all of a sudden it was gone. After she came out, and that was like my only exposure to gay people and how controversial that was. And I was like, oh, okay, I like the show, but I guess that if she's gay, then that's bad. And like the next time that I could remember like seeing homosexuality or something homoerotic on TV was watching Borat with my dad and being like, oh, remember that wrestling scene when they're naked? That was very awkward to watch with my dad. So I'm like, oh, this is really gay. And like at the time I wasn't out, but I'm just sitting there really awkwardly like, oh God, like I'm not turned on, but it's just like, this is two dudes on the screen. This is fucking weird. Like I can't, oh my God. Like I wanted to sink into my chair, and it stood out to me because you never saw that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's not like you can be indoctrinated into this. Otherwise, if you could have, I would have been. Like I would have, like I actually, like when my family got a computer and we got internet finally when I was 17 years old, because we were very broke. The first thing that I did when everyone went to bed was I got on the computer, and this is going to sound dirty, but no, I didn't look at porn. I Googled conversion therapy because I wanted to go to conversion therapy, but I couldn't find one that would be like discreet. So like even like as I started to realize, okay, something's kind of wrong here. It's not like there's no way that you can be programmed into it. You just are who you are. So these people are very, very ignorant about just like human sexuality, about gender. And it shows because they're incredibly vapid. And the second that you ask them a basic question, their worldview crumbles.
It's very possible they're also suppressing something themselves. And so to them, that's what they have to do. So they figure, well, isn't everyone like this? Aren't they all suppressing these emotions, or these feelings, these natural feelings they have? Like that comes out for a lot of these people on a constant basis.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh yeah, you've been this entire time that you're anti-gay, you've been gay. And like, how many times has that happened with Republicans? Like, it's been again and again.
Bro, I would have been in the Guinness World Records for F slurs as a teenager, just to prove to everyone how not gay I was. Like, if you could go back, oh my God, I was the biggest homophobe imaginable. But of course, it was me trying to like hide who I really was. I was like externalizing my internalized homophobia. So a lot of these people who think about this so much and talk about it so much, I'm sorry, but that's a red flag. Like, you're gay, you're dealing with something. There's a number of people, Matt Walsh, Steven Crowder, that come to mind, and it seems like a trope.
Governor of Tennessee.
Exactly. Yeah. Which that's something we should talk about too.
Bussiology 101.